Alright, what up everybody? My name is Cameron Slacker over here, and I'm back to you again after being gone for a super long time. I've been busy, but I'm back here again to give you a deck profile of my Mermail Atlantean deck. I brought this to Locos, and I did really well with it, winning literally most of my matches except for one match, and I was playing against Invoked against that. But anyway, let's get to the deck profile. Of course, you start off with your 3 Abyss Megalo, because he's the big boss. I don't care what other people say, he's the big guy. He's the one you want to have out. He's the one who makes the OTK. He is the one. He's just the king of the deck. He runs stuff, and I love him for it. As you can see, he is how can I say this? He searches an equip spell that I will tell you about later. He can attack twice if he gets rid of a water monster on board, and you can special summon him from the hand, which is always good, and you can recover him thanks to another card. But sorry if they're not shiny. It's just not. It was just too pricey. Next up, of course, you run your 3 Abyss. Self-explanatory. Took me way too long to get him, and that's why this video took too long. But he can search out a Mermail card, except for Megalo. And, of course, he can also dump a water monster from hand, and he can special summon himself on the field, which is really nice for sometimes where you just don't have the plays for it. And he's also level 7, so you can rank 7 with him in Megalo. So of course they're like brothers. Next up, of course, we have 2 Pike, continuing the Mermail engine. He's good because he's a level 4 plus water. And he's also really nice because when he's normal or special summoned, I can discard a water monster to the graveyard and get a level 3 water monster to my hand, and I'll show you which one I normally pick. And that's the next card, and I play 1 Gun because, of course, she's not a bad card, but 2 of her and 3 of her isn't necessary because all you want to do with her is send her to the graveyard and get one of these guys back on the field, whether be Pike to exceed with, Abyss to again exceed with, or Megalo to go for game with. Next up, your Atlantean engine. Of course, you play 3 Prince because he's the prince. You need him. Like Vegeta is the prince of all Saiyans, he's the prince of the Atlanteans, so you just need him on the team. Anyway, when he's normal summon, it does nothing, but you can activate his effect, which allows you to pitch an Atlantean from your deck to your graveyard, and I'll show you exactly which one I'm picking with the next card. But for right now, that's the one you want to do. He is so good. He's so good. When he was announced, you knew we had to play him at 3. And he searches an Atlantean when he pitches an Atlantean from the deck. Plus, when you pop him, you get a monster from your graveyard to the field, and I'll show you that later. Next up, you play 2 Dragoon. I wish this bad boy was at 3, but 2 is fine. 2 is fine, especially since you still OTK with 2. Anyway, when he's sent to the graveyard, right? When he's sent to the graveyard, he searches a sea serpent. You know who was a sea serpent? And I'm not going to show you now, but for later. But right now, he's a sea serpent, and he's a sea serpent. Megalo and Prince. 2 key cards, you can search them just by dumping this guy, thanks to his effect. Or Megalo, or whatever. Point is, get him engraved, do what you need to do, get your searches off. And, he also has an effect where if there's a level 3 Sea Serpent type monster on the field, they can attack your opponent directly, but that's not what this bad boy is used for. It's not. Next up, of course, you gotta just play your other Atlantean engine, your infantry. I only play two because I played the other one at two, which I'll show you right now. To marksman, because this one destroys face ups and this one destroys face downs. The problem is that I don't want to have more of one or the other, so I put them both at two. This one can give me another extra normal summon, but when this one inflicts damage, I get to special summon a low level water monster from my deck. So I like it. I like the ratio I got going on here. 2 for 2. 3. Get mass seal, because sometimes you just need to get rid of the problem, and he does that. It just helps that he's a water monster. Now you play 2 spirit, because you can banish one water monster from your graveyard to special summon this guy, a girl, from your hand. And if you keep her on board and you don't OTK the turn you use her, then you get to keep one of your opponent's monsters a certain battle position. But let's be honest here. You're gonna win first turn. You are. But if you don't, then at least you have backup plans. Next up, 1 DC Diva. Wish she was at 3, but 1 is fine because she still wins games. You use her effect, get out your boy. Where is he? Prince, and you just go off from there. And plus, she's a tuna monster that enables synchro plays. Plus, you can search her because she's a sea serpent, so you can search her with Dragoon. She's so good. She's so good. I love her. 1 Elemental Lord. 1 Elemental Lord is good for me because it gets rid of cards from the hand. But if you use him, win the game. That's it. Because when it leaves the field, you lose a battle phase. And in this deck, you need your battle phase. 1 Barrier Statue, because this deck runs nothing but water, except for a couple cards in the extra deck. But one of this guy, remember that. Even this guy, just putting him in the deck is not even mandatory. I just put him here because I don't like people doing stuff, so I put him here to stop that. I normal summon, and I just sit there because this alone shuts down people, unless they're playing like Paleozoic or something like that, or a mirror match. But other than that, this guy basically just sit him down, set 1 or set 3 or whatever, and end. Just for those times where you have a brick hand. Now for the spell cards, 1 Mizuchi and 1 Citru. This one negates spells, this one negates traps. Put them both to Megalo, and you have 2 negates. They use a spell card, bam. He's still at 32. He uses a trap card, bam. So good. That's why I don't run 2 of each, because if I had 2 of this equipped to Megalo, then if some person used 1 spell card, then both of them would go. That's why I won 1 of each. So that way, even if they use the card, it's not going to go nowhere. 2 more of Greed, draw power, that's it. Fits his dead hands. 2 Forbidden Chalice. Again, stops the problem. Don't care about the power bonus. It negates the effects, and I like that. 2 Twin Twisters. Get rid of problem back row. Self-explanatory. 2 Dark Holes. Again, gets rid of fields. You need board wipes because this deck, even with infantry and marksman, doesn't get rid of everything. Those cards get rid of everything, especially this bad boy, Regeki. 1 for 1 for Prince. Yeah, he's that important. He gets 1 card to himself. And for the last spell, Soul Charge. This actually helped me out in tournament. It was so funny. Like, he wiped out my whole board. For some reason, he stopped my LTK, and then he wiped my whole board. And then I had no cards in hand. Top deck, Soul Charge, won the game. Next up, a Spear. I don't have lead. Probably never will. Because this deck is doing fine right now. But it's okay. Because Spear saves me from tight clutches. Activate it. And I get a Mermail. Most likely I'm getting a Abysteus. Or Spike. But whatever. And that basically does it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck. For the Xyz, 1 Armed Kappa just for defense, and I somehow leave level 2s on my field. 2 Abyss Dwellers. Great. Plus he makes your water monsters even bigger. Plus he stops my opponent from using graveyards. What? Especially in this meta. What? Next up, I love this guy, but I don't use him often. Basically, cuts my opponent's monsters down from 1,000. And when he dies, bring back a water monster. Perfection. Ooh, I love that card. 1 Arc to get rid of special summon monsters that I just can't somehow get over. Now for the rank 7s, go for your big eye to take the problem. This actually helped me out in tournament too, because some guy summoned out the Infinity Dinosaur or whatever that gains power from banished monsters, and I took it, and I was like, you know what, game. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, summon it, sit there, and watch your opponent just try to struggle to get around it. And the technically real boss monster of Mermails, even though, let's be honest here, Megalo's king. This guy's pretty good because monsters with level 5 or higher can't attack. Plus, once per turn during either player's turn, I can detach a material and negate cards on my opponent's field whose attack is less than 2800 because he's 2800. Now for your synchros. 1 Tatsunoko. He fits with the deck. 1 Crystron Matrix. Defense, special summon monsters. Plus he's a good level 5 and he's water. 1 Stardust Charge Warrior. Never used him and probably never will. But he gets an extra draw. That's pretty nice. Plus he's level 6. This deck really is good with level 6s. Now for the 2 I actually do use a lot. The Dolphin. The White Aura Dolphin. Yay. This guy actually won me a game. And I was actually proud of him.